Welcome everyone to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. I'm your host Kelly Link, and joining me here we have Balla TW and Monster D Face. And if today's games are anything like what we saw yesterday, Balla, it's going to be some crazy high action competition going on.
Yeah, it really is. And grand finals always deliver. I was trying to get my crank on before this just to try to live up to what these guys are going to do, but I'm nowhere near that. So I can't wait to watch what's going to unfold today.
Yeah, Monster D Face, some of those last games that we saw, the end game was insane. Some of the best Fortnite competition that we've actually seen in quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, Balla and I crowned Ree as one of the most exciting players to keep an eye on for semis. The names that he managed to steamroll through was incredible. And these players are putting on the spectacle, and I don't expect anything less from the West Division today.
Yeah, chat, if you guys are wondering what these guys are talking about and you weren't able to watch yesterday's semifinals, well, we have a short video for you.
What's up, Fortnite fam? It's your favorite guy, Monster D Face, and I was told that it is time to throw it to NA West DreamHack Highlight Package. Kono, 3 builds in a tree. Here he comes. And he's ready to do it. It's a 1v1 situation now. Ball is Adity versus Kono. No, the grappler is going to open him up. And he gets hit huge, and it's over.
Spend some time for the big pot in the final zone in a 1v1. The pressure is not enough with that pistol, and here we go. The retakes that he will do it. The retake has worked. Jivvy, no more mats. The charge shotgun will be all he can, but he is blocked in with 5 HP. With 5 HP, and that's it. Clicks is now going to block him out, and I think he's done it. There's no chance for Jivvy. 5 HP, he takes the risk, and it pays off. The pistol will not be enough, and he will take the game. Toast versus Coop could be impactful. Toast trying to get the win. He needs these points. He will have a chance for another game, but this 1v1 is basically a determining factor. Might be the same thing for Coop, but we don't quite know his points. So East player right now, the charge shotgun will go, and he will win the fight.
Sloth is running on fumes here as the zone is pressuring him closer and closer. Tavern with the height advantage, walking across enemy builds. It's going to be the easy indicator for Tavern. He knows exactly where he is. Sloth with a risky step into the zone, though. I'm not sure if it was the right play. And now he peeks out the 50-50. Tavern finds the shot, Balla.
Keeksy on low, Pinto on mid, Cheaters on high. And there still is a potential for him to have that shockwave launcher. A bunch of crash pads being thrown out. Pinto is going for it. He's going for it. He's got it. Cheater gets completely demolished, and then the shockwave is out.
Man, some incredible in-game action going on there. Balla, how much HP did Clicks have again?
5 HP! 5 HP! Yeah, that was a crazy game, man. He did it. He did it.
Yeah, we saw some incredible moves there from our players.
Air horn? Am I tripping?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Those were some good moves that we got to see from our players. But actually, chat, we asked you guys for some of your favorite moves from Fortnite. So we're going to take a look at our social media and see exactly what you guys had to share with us. Some good dance moves, hopefully, or maybe not even dance moves. I'm actually not too certain because I didn't see. Oh, here we go.
Oh, careful
from Dyson,
now, Dyson
TV.
Don't break the internet, buddy. Hold up, he's going in.
Why did he look
like
so
that.
indifferent?
Don't break the internet. Oh my goodness.
I'm expecting if you're gonna do that dance move that you would, I don't know, look excited. Oh, there we go. There's a happier face.
Oh,
okay. I was gonna say, let's go. Okay, he's pushing it up too.
Nice. Hey, he's juiced up for it. Hey, he's not done yet, Balla. Oh, the toe jam. I think he hit the desk.
Well, Monsters, speaking of juiced up, there was some players yesterday during our semifinals that were definitely juiced up indeed. Let's take a look at our top 20 that we got to see coming out of the semifinals. And of course, guys, the first thing that you're going to notice, that first place spot goes to Booga. Second place is going to be going to Epic Reet, one of the players that Balla and Monster keep mentioning. Of course, we have CLG Medusa. However, you guys might know him as CLG Ray? Jay? Which one?
That's Jay, CLG.
All right, there we go, CLG Jay. Fourth place is going to be Accept, and then fifth place going to C and Rakane. But Balla, there's some other incredible names up there in the top 20.
Yeah, there really are. I mean, Arkram is one of the guys that I have in my top 5, at least in chances to take the actual tournament. Falconer as well. Frist made it through. Tavern made it through. There's a lot of names in this top 20 who definitely will have a shot today.
And I was just going to jump on and say, let's not forget the ones that are not in top 20, right? Talking about the Clixes, the 94th from Jacob, who barely pulled through. Epic Whale, who's going to be claiming authority today, right? There's all kinds of big names on the West scene. And those just outside the bubble are also very much contenders for the crown today.
Yeah, a few other to mention: Knives, Blake, Godku, Dubs, Bucky. Chat, I actually want to ask you right now, out of the top 100 that we're going to be seeing here today, who do you want to be able to take the W and claim first place right now? But Bala, Monster, D-Face, I think it's time to start moving on into talking about the grand finals that we're going to be seeing and where exactly some interesting POIs are going to be. So let's actually pull up the scoreboard right now. And Bala, I'm going to let you take it away because, as I'm sure chat notices, this isn't the updated map. This is actually a little bit of an older map.
Yeah, it is a little slightly older, but that's not really going to be the focus today. We kind of talked about that through opens and semis. So let's actually talk drop spots. Let's figure out where people are going to be dropping. Rickety Rig might be uncontested for Arkram. That could be really huge. That could get him rolling. Fortilla has 4 people, I think, landing there, including Dubs, including some really, really strong West players. Yachts is going to be contested by 3. And then Caddy Corner only by 2, surprisingly. Reet and 40R Storm. Obviously, that's not necessarily everybody, but it could be. So those are big ones too. And then Misty Meadows, Booga switching his drop off of the pontoon where he was getting contested by Tavern. Now moving to Misty Meadows where his teammate Stretch landed and had such success last weekend.
But wait, Ball, let's not forget Wavy Jacob, or Enterprises Jacob, as he has recently changed his name to, but he's playing for Misty Meadows as well, right? You're talking about an East-West versus West clash here. The Authority is going to be a huge story of whether or not Epic Whale can step it up, come out of here alive, right? We know there's going to be a lot of action in the middle of this center point for the grappler. And I'm bringing it up because Epic Whale came, I think, just shy of 50th place or so. This is not normal for Epic Whale. This is his region. He's normally at the very tippity top 10, similar to the way Arkham's been so consistent. He's up there amongst the best all the time.
That's a really good point. I want to go right back to the map real quick because there's a big development that actually happened on Twitter real quick. Scented was dropping here in Misty Meadows on that right side, but he just posted that he might be moving to the Authority, noticing that it's Epic Whale maybe against only 1 or 2 of the other players in this top 100 of semifinals. So Scented jumping on that opportunity, going to Authority and actually fighting against Epic Whale. I saw that, I was like, Epic Whale has chances here. But now Scented coming in, it's going to be a little bit more interesting than just Epic Whale has chances.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see. Chat, in case you guys are just joining us for the first time and you don't really know how the DreamHack Open really works out, well, I'm here to explain that to you all. It's split into 3 days. Of course, day number 1 on Friday we saw is our open qualifiers, where thousands of players have the opportunity to enter and compete and try and be the top 250 players from their heat. With 2 heats moving on from day 1, we saw yesterday the semifinals, which was 500 of the best players in the North American West region duking it out to try and take the top 100 spots. They had 3 hours and 10 games to collect as many points as they possibly could through placements and through eliminations, which would give them 5 points each. But today is the big day, everyone. It's grand finals, and the game is going to be a little different. Instead of it being several lobbies like what we saw for the last 2 days, it's going to be one lobby, an incredibly stacked lobby with the top 100 players from yesterday competing for that $250,000 prize pool, split between all 3 regions, guys. I mean, Bala, we were talking a little bit about this earlier before we went live, and how last week with Europe, we saw a bit of a difference with the semifinals going into the grand finals, where the players that did well in the semifinals didn't necessarily do well in the grand finals. And then North American East switched that all up around, where the players that did do well in the semifinals are going to do well in the grand finals. That's a long-winded question of me asking you, how do you think these players are going to be doing today?
Okay, all right, cool. We got, I was like, okay, maybe it'll be in the middle, maybe.
Where's it going?
No, there's a lot of expectations both on how these lobbies are going to be in terms of the strength of them. How hard is it going to be to play the end game? What we saw in the semifinals yesterday was like lobbies slightly under surge that didn't necessarily really matter was popping, that people could handle very easily. And because of that, you saw a lot more passive play out of NA West. And that is kind of what we expect in the grand finals for NA West, but I do expect it to be a lot harder to survive surges, and people will be playing slightly mindless because, like I said, yesterday it was less shooting, less engagements, less really thoughtful Storm Surge play because they didn't really have to worry about it. Now, that could be a behavioral factor that these guys have to pay attention to, those desperate players jumping in your box.
Yeah, Monster, when you think of a mindful player going into this grand finals, who do you really consider? Who's a player that's really good of a mental player?
I think we're going to have to look at a few, and these are going to be players invading from the east, typically at the top of the leaderboards. I'm talking P-God and I'm talking Dubs. These guys are players that are flexible on their play styles. They manipulate, the lobby to their liking, and they will just make it work. And especially someone like P-God, who one has the supporting community behind his back. So of course, I'm going to shout him out today. But more importantly, he plays under these settings, high ping. He's literally performed in the pressure that is this West setting right now all the time. And I think that gives him a little bit of an edge as far as comfortability coming into this.
Yeah, Bala, I asked chat earlier who they thought was going to be able to take the win here in the grand finals. And of course, you're going to see a lot of Clicks love. We got Booga, of course. I think we got now some love for P-God Monster. Good shout out right there. Are there any other names that are really sticking out to you in today's competition?
Oh, absolutely. There's so many, and there's a lot of sleeper picks that you can go with too. But for me, there's such names at the top in West. Epic Whale obviously has a chance. Arkham too. I'm looking at Jay because both the opens and semifinals performances from him were really good, and retail uncontested might be nice. Tavern too, which was the highest placing West player at the DreamHack Anaheim at the last DreamHack that we had a chance to look at when there's West players competing. So I think that those guys have a big shot as well.
Yeah, another player that definitely has a shot at taking first place here is Knives, everyone. In case you don't know too much about him, let's watch a quick interview.
So my name is Gage, aka Real Knives. I'm a pro Fortnite player. So me as a player, I come from really high ping, and I only recently got to a lower ping about a month and a half to 2 months ago. So I'm more of a brains type of operation, not much of a mechanical player, but I'm definitely working on mechanics and being able to hard frag in end games and mid games. So my performance yesterday, I wouldn't say I performed at the level that I wanted to, like I did in opens, but definitely qualified, and end of the day, that's all that really matters, is getting to that finals. Tonight, I would probably want to focus on getting more into endgame, securing a couple more eliminations, and just stacking up points as I go instead of just relying on winning a game. Tonight for finals, I'll be landing at the Fortilla. It's just my new drop spot, so I've got a really nice loot route going on, and then I'll rotate over to like Slurpee area. So I'm really comfortable with landing there. I usually don't have to fight off rip or anything. I can kind of just loot and leave, so it's really convenient. My family loves to watch. They watch all my YouTube videos. My grandparents like to watch my Twitch streams. My dad plays Fortnite as well. My mom keeps up with the community, so it's a really supportive family I have when it comes to this kind of path I'm going down. That's all from me. Hope you guys have a good day in finals today if you're competing, and hope you guys enjoyed.
Big shout out to Knives there. Thank you so much for sharing your insight. And it's always nice to hear your family supporting you, of course, and giving you the love that you need. And I'm seeing a lot of support and love in chat for Clicks. And more importantly, I'm seeing that they're ready for the games to start. Bala, real quick, before we jump into game number 1 here, expectations for the grand finals.
Yeah, I'm expecting these to be really, really nice games. I can't wait to watch because yesterday the semifinals blew me away. This is going to be even more exciting because today we're crowning a champion, Kelly.
Yeah, Monster D Face, what do you want to see coming into game number 1?
I want to see West on top. I want to see West come through, represent for the division. I know on social media is all this talk that, hey, there's just too much East presence in other regions here, but I think West is going to come through and prove it up.
Well, you know what, chat? We're not even going to go to a break, if I can even say it correctly, because it's game number 1 for the grand finals here of the North American West region. Bala, Monster D, Face, take it away.
Let's do this. Game number 1 of NA West, Monster, and I couldn't be more excited. No, we don't have a magic button that we can do to press the games. It's almost as if they're on replays and they're delayed and we have to wait till they get into them. So we will be able to hop into them, but Monster, like you said, a lot of the West guys are hoping that they can hold off and fend off NA East.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see it unfold. I really do believe so. We're talking now, they're all in their bag. They're in their home setting. It's the highest stakes on the line here, just 8 games ahead of us, Paula.
That there are, and this is the first one. We'll get to see if all our predictions about drop spots and how these are gonna play out, if they unfold. A lot of clicks love in the chat, like Kelly mentioned a few times, and I believe he will have Pleasant Park mostly uncontested, which would be very interesting. We just heard from Knives, who's landing over at the Fortilla, going to end up engaging with Dubs. I think the amount of people at the Fortilla and landing down there, it's actually going to cause a lot of problems for FaZe Dubs today.
You said Clicks might have it uncontested. No, I'm looking at 4 different persons in the area, not to mention the bridge being claimed. So all of a sudden, it's not looking too simple over in Pleasant Park. We'll catch eyes here, and look at this. Dubs is playing for the Fortilla. He's got a lot of action here too. Caleb's going to touch down first.
Yeah, he is. The way that Dubs plays this is tries to control one specific section, but also scouts for Ocean so well. And I'm not sure if he already spotted her or not. Regardless, he got some loots. Bad news for the P-God fans in chat right now. He was the first player to end up falling in 99th place, unfortunately. So things are kind of slow here for Dubs. Nobody really fighting out yet. He gets beamed in the back by Vert, I think. I thought that was an AI for a second, but no. He's going to be down. Yeah. No, Matt, a henchman will take him out. Not a good start for FaZe Dubs.
The henchman really showing up in full force here. So the big upset for P-God, the even bigger upset now for Dubs, because he falls to not a player, but an AI. We know we're going to see the flames come out of him for that one. And man, what a way to start off your tournament today.
I think that we saw him kind of go with the option of landing slightly more towards the center. He was clearly trying to get up on top of that higher structure, and then ending up going with a really weird option. Only one chest, one floor loot spawn, and then he had to kind of like gamble on getting across the river down to the south or the northwest of the Fortilla. Then got shot by Vert on the back, and then the henchmen were just completely destroying him. That is super, super unfortunate.
But all right, Ben Pen, Syrup Man now. We're getting a little bit of an eye on the lay of the land here. This is going to be your Sweaty Sands portion. Like we said, so many of these players play these southern areas. I wanted to talk about this in the kind of opening segments about how on EU, our champs, the players that were at the top, they all came from the top northern half of the map. Talking about big shots going down there. Hold up. Syrup Man's going to find himself the snipe shot to kick this off. And this is a great start for him, because not only that, he's got that legendary tactical. Bala, as I recall yesterday, Reet was tearing up the show with that bad boy.
Yeah, breaking through walls, going in with crash pads, hitting every shot. It was definitely something to behold. Speaking of Reet, I'm wondering how the caddy corner is going off. Oh, perfect switch. Thank you. It is him with only 40R Storm, like we predicted. And I think there's a few more spawns of Kit up north. So 40R Storm, if this split continues the way it is going to have a pretty decent advantage. We saw Frist have it pretty much every game in the grand finals of NA East. But Reet will challenge. The difficulty for Reet is the fact that 40R Storm most likely can just bail at any moment. This is going to be one of the most impactful 1v1s that we have all day today, Monster.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some work cut out for Reet there, especially if he's going to be taking this fight right now. Someone else who's got his work cut out for him, it's going to be Jacob, who's splitting that Misty Metals. And just according to the curses, as we see it right now, might be Booga and Jacob claiming 2 portions of the entire Misty. And it's going to work out for them if it's like that, because we know once Jacob gets comfortable and going, yesterday was the straight sign that he's going to fight, right? He doesn't care Yeah, zone, he doesn't care if he needs to qualify for that matter. He's going for it. He's putting it all out there, trying to play for first, quite literally.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday. I'm wondering if Scented leaving had such an impact now on the Misty Meadows for Jacob and Bugha. Usually Misty is one of those spots that just supports so many different solos. Who is it in the distance? If we can get confirmation of whether that's Bugha or not, or if he switched back to the yacht or went to Pontoon or what have you, he definitely posted on Twitter that he was going to come to Misty. It's Krizux. Either Bugha's gone already, which he definitely might. We're already in that position of the game where people can start to early rotate. But wow, empty Misty. For real, you're right. This is a very good sign for Jacob.
So good. You know, time and time again, we come into these tournaments, especially on a grand finals day, and then you see the drop spot. And it's like, oh, of course, this guy had it uncontested. And that plays such a large factor in how the rest of their game shapes out. Having that, you know, freedom of the drop spot, being able to capitalize on your material and then play into the zone is just massive.
This right here is Sora, I believe, who had a fantastic day through the open and a decent day yesterday in the semifinals. Over top the Misty Mountains. 40R Storm is disengaged all the way over here, so we know for sure he has the Shockwave launcher because a moment ago he was about to face off against Reet, and he will push down now, possibly engage into Jacob. This is not a fight unless he can get a snipe, but the awareness is there for Jacob, and they will decide now to back away. I think Jacob will go into the house for safety, and Sora will continue to rotate down into Misty, hopefully find some extra loot, though Jacob going on the... Oh, he's going to take this monster. Surprising.
I mean, I'm kind of concerned with how many players are alive right now in the zone. You have to, right? We're looking at a game that's going to be affected by Storm Surge. And oh my gosh, Jacob is going to get bested in the fight there. Takes the shotgun trade and it doesn't work out for him.
Oh my goodness. You talked about the aggressiveness for him and how he doesn't care in a lot of senses, but when it comes to grand finals, we haven't seen much of Wavy Jacob. He did so well in DreamHack Anaheim semifinals. Like in the top 5, if I remember, for that. But then when it came to when the grand finals came around, he was nowhere to be found. And it might be because of this. You're right that you kind of have to maybe try to take fights because of how many people are up, especially at this instance, because there's not going to be any other opportunity after this. But ooh-wee. Sora will win that fight decisively too.
Be interesting to see if we even get the notification for Zone 1 surge, because there's going to be over 90 players live potentially. Bugha with the no-scope attempt there. Not going to work out. I'm trying to factor in with how far Bugha is playing right now, how deep he is on the northern portion. I'm thinking he did not drop at Misty this time around.
No, yeah, definitely not. I think he went back to the tried and true for him in the finals of NA East. Remember the duels he had with Mr. Savage? I'm going to guess not the floating pontoon that goes around the island, given his loot's not that great. I'm thinking he split the yacht with a couple of different people and now made the rotation in. Something that helps. Last weekend in the grand finals, Whirlpools were disabled. So now that we see him on this rotation, this might completely be a boon for Bugha going forward. Maybe an opportunity now for him to really shine when he goes back to the yacht.
Here's a little engagement right now. Bamboozoo up on FJ. FJ up on height. He's kind of holding out, looking for any tags off in the distance. The server's going to catch up with him now. Just look how many players are back here trying to make their move in, a lot of which are still hovering on the backside of the zone. 30 seconds to do something big before I believe the surge is going to kick in here, so... Or the warning for it.
The warning, a little bit after the second zone. So, 94 players alive, Monster. That is unbelievable. And like I said, West very passive because it's like a weird thing, right? You expect you think of West, the general knowledge of West when you think about the top players, Jacob, Epic Whale, those guys W key in the open format. So you're like, yeah, this is an aggressive region. They always storm fight, things like that. But when it comes to grand finals, those are completely wrong. It is one of the most passive regions ever. And I think that's because not so much experience in the grand finals, except for the top of the top. A nade from FJA. He will mark it and drop it right on the face of Bamboozle. Now Falconer going for that loot too. Potentially could have also succumbed to it, but no.
Falconer back there, some pressure on him. Someone who's got serious pressure is Acorn, is in the zone right now, trying to get a wide rotate on, playing around.
Honestly, I'm like okay with this with Acorn right now, like chilling in zone, because 93 people who are going to be in the second zone, as long as he can find some heals, but I don't know. Going back to the stackness right now, 93 also indicates a lot of drop spot prep, right? That means that people are not landing contested in a lot of places. They're making sure they're going for their second or third options if they are way too contested. So we got a nice big spread along the map. That is also something that is indicative of the best players. Gonna have a good time, right? They don't end up in these really random situations. Another nice nade from Acorn.
Massive. Remember, he was in a storm there, so he needed the siphon here, and that's going to be the freebie to heal him up. It's also going to give him a lot of time. He's not going to have to stop at all here. I like what he's doing with the crash pads right now, setting him up so he can pick up the rest of them. So that's going to give him a bit more time on the zone here to distance, to rotate out. Arkram, though, is looking down on Godku. These are obviously players we want to keep an eye out on. Godku finishing in the top 30. He had quite the day yesterday. Arkram doing even better than that. Surprisingly, Arkram also had such a high average elim for his semis, right? And this is not something we see from Arkram.
I love the play, by the way, basing up on the side of the island, knowing that there will be somebody trying coastal rotates. He's going to get even more shots on Godku. This is the freest surge damage for Arkram, and it's going to be so important. This surge might be one of the most devastating we've ever seen in solos. Meanwhile, Godku on the backside of this has no chance. Fatch is going to go forward and try to get some damage on Arkram because 13 below right now. Meanwhile, Arkram is fine for now. He's going to try to continue to rotate, get a good position in second, and then from there, he can start to find a little bit more damage for the fifth zone surge that will be just as deadly.
It makes me wonder, is it because everyone's got to see, every other region play out, right? So now all of a sudden the stakes, the intensity rises, like you're the last one up, And it's being broadcasted, which the West hasn't had in quite some time. So I really do feel like the pressure's on and they feel it. Because we didn't even see this much of a hefty lobby, even in the FNCS Invitational. This is definitely by far the most stacked I've been able to witness in quite some time, at least for game one. So very interesting to see how this is going to play out.
Probably since DreamHack Anaheim game one, right? I don't even recall. I mean, that was such a long time ago, but in terms of intensity, that had to be the one that matched this the most. Bucky on the side of Arkram. I'm surprised to see him all the way down south here while we see Epic Whale pick up an elim in the feed. So there are players falling. Bucky definitely needs surge. He's going to go for a box fight with Arkram, but no! Arkram will instantly turn around and charge up that shotgun to the face of Bucky.
Bucky catching no luck. This is the second time now we've tuned in and have caught the same fate with Bucky, where he's on the back foot in a box fight. That one ended so fast. Just steps into the big charge shot from Arkram. Saw Frisk fall there. Wild Fox.
Also some damage on that south side of the map. Reverse 2K falls to Krizix of Timbers. We interviewed yesterday, hoping to have a good day today. Tai on the rotate, prominent West player. And he does actually pick up an elim onto Artemis. I'm not exactly sure. That guy was on the zone line, right? So maybe he dipped in the zone for a second.
Yeah, I think that was super unlucky for him right there. Yeah. Rose now stepping up. He's gonna use the stinker here to get the focus off of Vert, or the player that was just underneath him, allow him to kind of base up here and get comfortable. This is where Krizix is parked up, so I'm assuming he looked down and outwards towards possibly where Reverse was and just caught himself a cheeky pick on the rotate here. Just look at the map down in your bottom right corner. It's showing you how far or how awkward this terrain's about to play. It's going over mountains, cutting through POIs, and it's pulling very, very far southeast into more mountainous territory. Rose, though, catches a shield crack here, Ball. He's going for the commit. He's jumping in. Felix is going to find Coop with the big snipe right there and the hunting rifle. And now Felix is on his second elimination. Pretty good, but he hasn't been able to acquire any of the loot. Look at how much shambles there is. These are massive frags.
This lobby has devolved ever since that third zone surge kicked on. It was like 82 people alive before that happened. And then as soon as it kicked on, it almost instantly dropped to 70. Now things will slow down again, but obviously the lobby opened up as that surge went on, and we dipped significantly in terms of player counts. Epic Whale on the back foot right here down south, where we saw Arkram actually coming through as well. Felix with the 2 snipes that he got, also coming through this little corridor. Epic Whale making a risky rotation even further south here.
He's trying to beat the zone, and I think he realized, like, hold up, this is gonna be a 5-tick. I gotta go up the mountain. Probably not the best idea. He's gonna double back now to the base.
Reet has not had to move whatsoever, but he did not challenge 40R Storm, who will have the Shockwave launcher for this first game. And that might actually just tell us who has a big opportunity to win, although without fighting and without any elims, he might not actually have the rocket ammo to do much with the Shockwave and endgame. He'll have to find an elim before he really activates himself.
That makes me wonder, just looking at how many players were alive coming in, how many POIs were split and engagements were not happening. Makes you think about how many players need more ammunition, need more just bullets, weapon upgrades, and all that kind of stuff. Yes, exactly that.
Look at Reed, 17 builds. You can see he's trying to get into a box. You know it. He has the crash pads, and he will do it. Now looking at this box fight, he said, okay, there's players fighting here. Here we go. Into the box. Can he hit the tack shot? No, it got actually knocked away, and the player backed even further into his metal box, but he's going to continue. Another crash pad in, but the edit down, and Reed is in really big trouble now.
His ace card being used and played. Everyone knows what time it is, but oh, he's going to walk right through. It's going to be Clicks who's on the backside of the barrel here, and he falls, and it's going to be a massive, massive come up for Reed. He absolutely needed this now. He has an AR and some more material to work with.
Yeah, the material, the most important part of everything, although the AR could be huge too, finding tags at range. That was Clicks, and you could tell how uncomfortable these box fights are this season, and with the amount of players up alive in grand finals, the crash pad, and then the movement where you're really stuck in a small confined space comparatively to the early game and mid game when you have these box fights. You really don't have anything to move through. Reed is going to take him out and get back into the game. He was pretty much done before that.
That's the thing. It's that muscle memory to try and jump on a ramp, and typically you end up behind it. It doesn't matter because the player does as well. Acorn, though, is going to come up with a harpoon here. I don't think he's going to grab too much, and unfortunately, he's going to get tagged in the process. Unreal, someone who does not have any shields or HP. Trying to scramble down for some of that loot.
That's a mobile player, by the way. He made it through to grand finals today, or at least that's what he tweeted. Booga with a lot of materials. I was going to say a second ago, this was really reminding me of World Cup, because pretty much every player that we looked at was having very, very low materials, which is what happened with Booga in the first game. You remember the amount of refreshes he had to get moving through, even all the way to 5th. There was like 3 elims that he needed to get to survive up to that point. Acorn in the same position, so was Reet, but Booga looking a lot better.
We're gonna see now, talk about Booga. It's not looking too hot for him at this moment here. 14 HP, 5 actual health, and no heals, so a total of 19. This is a snipe that's gonna matter. He does not hit it. I don't know how it's gonna play out with this gray charge, but this is a fight he has to hit. You can see trying to keep it alive, and no, the stinker from Godku. And that's it, it's over. Just ticked out of the game.
That's something that actually changed slightly this week. I don't know whether it was official or what, but it feels like you definitely find a lot more stinks these days off the Marauders, or the way that they're deploying them. So Godku uses a lot. Booga has to tunnel all the way forward in zone, already an awkward position to be in, but yeah, he's done to Godku and not going to be happy about that. And for a momentum player like him, that is not good. Acorn gets one, boxes another one. He's on the side of the wall now, but that's the materials. Look at that, 370. Jay Roses also trying to get in the box. He gets an impact. A lot of players putting themselves into really, really good positions, but Jay Roses still has to move, man. And I don't think he actually got the loot from that.
Let's talk about it, though. These are two impactful frags that are going to play into his favor. Placement points already being given out, so if you made it this far, you are taking a nice deep breath. You can see, because it's starting to add up now. That's already 10 points, giving people that foot in the door. Take a look at the mountain, though. It's defiable, little, accept, extras, vert, and a few others that are parked up here. Everyone down in the bottom half, some big names. I see Macon, I see Damo, I see Falconer down there. Epic Whale way down in the bottom, as is Arkram.
And Reed also got all the way up to the top of this mountain, and zone favors pretty much everybody in the lobby, but those up top, more importantly, Reed was up there. There's 40R Storm, who we know has that shockwave launcher. He's been sitting very quiet. Jay in this game too. Another big surge right here, right now. Epic Whale will go against Bumboy. 10 mats is what he has, and it's going to go over the mountain. There is Jay online and active. He finds an Elam on the backside. He's also going to be challenging against 40R Storm. That's the Shockwave player. That's the Shockwave player. No, he gets away, thankfully for him. Moving forward, still Epic Whale up in the top right of the screen. He's going to be able to base up at the front side of zone.
It's going down. Jay still turning up in the low ground with 2 eliminations. Here's Epic's perspective as he falls. Epic Whale taken out by Except there. For a second, it looked like he could have bounced back. He was going to get back in this competition, but no. Someone who needs more, though, is Jay. Jay now out of material in the mid game. An impact frag is absolutely necessary now. Player on ultimate height, though, is going to be Arkram, one of the few who's looking down on the rest of the zone. But we're going to be tuned in with Jay here. What can Jay do now? One material to make something happen here. It's Godku's on the other side of the wall. He doesn't want to take this fight. He's playing back and forth, trying to make it work right now. And the zone's going to favor him. It's actually going to go backwards. So he is in the advantage position here. With every player that falls, more placement points being divvied out as well.
Arkram still landing. Scented will have to give up height. By the way, that's Emad. GG is a beast, and I think he has the grappler. Meanwhile, Arkram still in a fight. Oh, Medusa! Oh, that's Jay, another one. And he has now taken height from anybody who was potentially fighting against it, but giving it up right away. Still 39 builds to his name. He can still make this work. Still a player up on height. Scented drops down. 40R Storm still alive, but getting pressured from Jay. Another shockwave will ruin someone's game, but we still have 40R Storm active in this one.
As is Arkram, as is Jay. Jay actually finding the impact frag that he needed. All of a sudden, he is in this run right now. He has 200 builds left in the inventory. Take a look at the wide shot, though. Jay's on height. He's going to crash pad off of that. Quinn's going to find 2, lighting up the feed for a second there. 10 more points going in his favor. Let's take a look at Arkram, though. Fighting his way to endgame. Will he break into top 10? It's looking very likely. Bumboy seems to be falling now. And yes, that's going to be another one for Arkram. The refresher, indeed. He's going to jump in for it. He wants all the loot. Here's Jay perspective. Using those crash pads to get ahead, and no, someone's going to meet him with a big shot. It's Little on the other side of the wall.
Fernando goes down as well. Furious, the last NAE's player, is up. The FNCS Invitational winner. He grabs 1, 7 people now alive, and this is so tense. Little still on to Jay. Yes, he gets the floor on top of him, blocks him in, and gets the finish too. Jay with 4 elims now, but Arkram is on height, and he's got 2. I don't see, yes, 40R Storm still alive. Probably has no rockets, though, and it's going to be a fight with him against Jay in zone.
Arkram, no more materials now. He has to work his way down, start to figure out what is he going to do. It's going to be the focus point for the second height. Furious now, under some serious pressure. Take a look. 40R Storm is going to catch Fecoy down to the low ground as well. This is huge for 40R. So 40R still in the game. Medusa, which is Jay just nearby, and Furious, all huge names for the West and East scene. And now we got a little bit of a box fight. Arkram sitting on top of Jay's builds. Jay's trying to find an opportunity to step out. He's got 4 eliminations. He's feeling it. He's going to go all the way down to the low ground now. Arkham still looking for an opportunity, playing across enemy builds. He can win this game right now. All he has to do is wait and time it, and yes, he finds Furious Huge. Yes. And now 40-yard storms as well. But no, 3 HP, Bala. Can he hit this final shot? He's got him back against the storm. One more second. Can he do it?
Wow.
Oh my God.
That was one of the craziest games. The names in that one, 2 FNCS Invitational winners, and Arkram, the one from NA West. And here in DreamHack NA West, he will reign supreme. That's 5 elims and 85 points for him. We're gonna go to a quick break. When we come back, game 2.